I'm joined now by Alexia Nepola from The Real Housewives of Miami, looking glamorous as always. Of course, you can catch them Wednesday nights on Bravo. We've brought out the pink drinks, but you know what? We're gonna get some black and white answers about the on again, off again relationship with you and your husband, Todd. We're gonna talk business, and let's just jump right in. Where do things stand with you two right now?
So currently, we are not talking. We are in no contact. You know, I had to choose me. You know, I had to do what was best for me right now. And for me right now, I need peace, and I need distance, and I need clarity. You know, and it's really hard watching the show, reliving the show, after we filmed this over a year ago. So I feel like the best thing for me right now is just to be on my own.
Don't let him make you feel bad. Don't let him make you feel bad.
What made you go back at first?
Everything. You know, love, answers, you're looking for the closure. You know, and along my journey, I've realized that the only person that can give herself closure is myself, you know, and peace and, you know, and healing. So just walking away for me has been the best thing, you know, because I'm healing at the same time.
Did you ever get closure as far as why he filed for divorce?
You know, I'm still trying to figure it out. I mean, I believe that he didn't want to be part of the storyline, which makes no sense because, you know, I'm on a reality TV show, and by you doing that, it was all over the headlines.
Of course.
So he gave me the storyline. You know, I wish it would have been handled differently. You know, we could have had the conversation and sat down like two mature, loving adults and said, you know what, I'm not happy, and this is what I want. And I would have supported it, you know what I mean? It's like, of course you fight for maybe not happening, or, you know, you do interventions, but I wasn't expecting it. I was so blindsided, you have no idea.
We know to try to get to this. You guys have to help me. We have to help each other. I can't go back to this guy.
Sure, the show is a lot, but do you just get rid of a relationship? Do you drop a relationship because you're bothered by the show?
I agree. You know, I'm not going to let them get away with that narrative and with that story as far as the show destroyed us.
Right.
Because it's not true. And, you know, I've always lived my truth, and that's like what you'll see.
What is true
season.
then? Let's say it now. Let's get it out
no,
right
I'm saying
now. What is true?
you were living. I was living my truth by what you're seeing on TV. You know, one day it was good, one day it was bad, it was hot, it was cold. I was an emotional roller coaster.
Are there other things that you sit down and you watch and you say, that bothers me now?
You know, we'll get into it as far as the other ladies go, but as far as my personal life, my scenes with my family a lot of times are what really gets to me. And, you know, and you see it, you know, sometimes it takes you seeing yourself on TV to actually see that side to you that you never see.
Were you bothered that he did all this in front of Frankie?
Of course, you know, of course, and that's a conversation that I had. I never expected that. And like I tell everyone, you know, the fact that, you know, Frankie doesn't express himself very well doesn't mean that he does not know what's going on. He knows more than us. He's so intuitive.
Sure.
Because a lot of his other senses are so overdeveloped that they kind of compensate for his language barrier.
Yes.
So he knew exactly, like I got home and Frankie's like, Mom, Todd's gone. But the way that he told me, I knew that it's not that he had just stepped out. I knew that there was more. And that's like when I ran to the room, because I was like, I knew exactly what he was trying to tell me. And it was horrible.
Take a sip of that drink.
Yes, I need it. Salud.
I know. That's what I was going to say. Take a sip
it.
of that drink. Yes. Was there ever any warning or signal?
There's always a warning and signals,
Right.
Obviously. But we choose not to see them, or we think that things are going to get better. You know, and I've always been a person that's filled with hope. I'm a fighter. You know, I keep on trying to be better. I keep on wanting to work things out. So yeah, I mean, were there signs? I think there's signs in every marriage. It's whether we choose to see them or not. But from that to like just walking out on me that I never saw that coming. And by the way, we've had conversations like that. And, you know, like you're in your relationship, you guys don't get to see the full story. You know, I mean, it's not only bad,
tell
obviously.
us what we didn't get to see.
It would take years. I mean, I've been with him for 9 years, so it'd be like, you know, it's a lot. It's not only bad, there's also a lot of good, you know, and that's why I was in love with him. What I'm trying to say is that, you know, this season, you only get to see glimpse, you know, and little pieces of it. You know, you don't see the entire story.
Then I gotta ask you, do you still love him?
I still love him. and I want to see him happy. I still care about him. You know, I don't know how to not love him. Like, I'm a person that I've always loved all the men that I've loved and all the people that I've loved. I don't know how to like not love somebody once I love them.
If
that makes sense, I don't know.
No, I get it. If you could work it out, would you go back?
So that's a difficult question to answer. For me, I always wanted to work it out. And I think that you'll see that. That's why you see me like, you know, so confused and, you know, and because I was living this every day. So for me, I wanted to work it out. But sometimes when you don't see change, you got to make that change. And I gave him the opportunity. And, you know, I thought we were going there, but reliving the show, I think, pushed us back to where we were before.
Do you want to find new love?
Well, of course I do. I mean, I love love. You know, I'm in love with love, and maybe that's why I've had 3 husbands.
Right,
so I'm always going to be open to the idea of falling in love. I don't know about marriage.
That is a theme on this show.
I've made a lot of great decisions about love, and I've made a lot of not so smart decisions. But to me, my life would not be complete without love and without a partner. Like, I see myself with someone.
Do you have some form of love in your life right now?
Oh, my son Frankie and
you
Peter.
know what? That is not what I was asking you. I was not asking you.
No, for real?
Yeah. Do you have some form of love in your life?
Well, I feel like I'm loved by a lot of people, and that kind of compensates. It does. I'm going to tell you the truth. So my children and my loved ones bring me so much love into my life that it doesn't fill in that gap that a man maybe or a relationship gives you, but I think it does a lot for me. So right now I'm filled with love, I'm filled with hope. I'm never gonna give up. Just because I've been divorced 3 times, I'm never gonna give up on finding that person that's gonna complete me and that we're gonna be compatible and we're gonna have, you know, a life together. That's for me, that's my happy state.
Yeah.
Being with a partner.
The glamour of all in this show is wild. How do you keep pace with all the outfits and all the stuff and the parties? How do you keep pace?
Well, I mean, for me, it's easy because I love fashion and I'm always shopping, whether we're filming or not. This is like, you know, my lifestyle. And I do love clothes, so I'm always shopping. I always have the outfit. What's not so good is that when they change like the theme or they make it like a theme, like last minute, it's like it's a white party, it's celebration of life. We have to do all that kind of stuff, but you know, it's part of our job.
You mentioned Guerdy's celebration of life, and in that moment, she publicly shamed Julia. How did you feel about that?
Okay, maybe we should take it back to why even Guerdy did something like that, right?
Sure.
So let's take it back to Marisol's wedding celebration.
Yes.
Where, you know, Julia unfortunately throws the water on Guerdy.
Which was completely uncalled for.
100%. Looking back at that, I wish I would have said something. I would have done more. You know, I would have like stood up for that, you know, because my intentions were never like not to defend her or for her to feel like that we weren't supporting her, but this happens so quickly. Like, you're not sitting in the table. I swear to you, like if you see me, I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? You know, everything escalates from one second to the other and all of this is happening and we're like in shock.
But did it cross a line?
Of course it did. It crossed the line. Nobody should be disrespected that way. Julia disrespected Guerdy by throwing the water at her. And I think because we were in such shock, we didn't react properly like we should have.
Sure.
Yeah, and looking back at it, I feel terrible. And I did right away, by the way. You guys just don't see the whole story. You know, I did feel bad right away, just so you know.
Okay, but can Guerdy and Julia coexist?
You know, I want to believe that they can, and I want them to, because, you know, they had that friendship before. We just don't know what happened. I feel like there's more backstory, and you're gonna have to watch in the reunion, because I feel like that a lot's gonna come out in the reunion.
What does it mean when you add new characters, new people into the mix, and what is it like for the OG folks when you bring somebody new in?
Well, I actually was very excited about bringing Stephanie Shojaee into the group because I always believed she would be a really good addition. I was just not thinking that she was gonna be so invested in my personal life with Todd.
Maybe this is your norm because you're married to a crazy guy that made you think that this is a norm.
I mean, the fact that every time she sits next to me is to talk about Todd. Like, she's like obsessed with my relationship with Todd.
What do you think it really is?
I think she's unhappy in her marriage. Honestly, it's like, why are you focusing on my marriage, you know? Honestly, Kevin, I didn't even want to talk about Todd.
Really?
They would always ask me about Todd, so I didn't. What I shared was that breaking moment, that breaking point that I had, because I'm human and I was going through that, and that's it. And then after I was like, okay, but I felt like Stephanie in particular was always like asking me about Todd.
But you understand that was a storyline that people are so interested in, and they are so confused by it.
I'm confused also. I'm
Okay.
still confused.
Wow. Okay, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
You all traveled all over the world. How much fun was that?
Oh my God. So to me, those are the best times, and they're also the worst times.
Right.
Because there's so much drama in those cast trips.
Yes.
So we go to Sevilla, Spain, and I'm so happy because it's a Spanish country, obviously.
Yep.
And so, we got to speak Spanish. You're gonna get to see the culture, the foods, the flavor. Like, I lived in Madrid for many years, so I'm very connected
What
to
else
Spain.
are we gonna see though?
You're gonna see a lot more of Stephanie and I, because she continues to come for me, yeah.
Who do you think you are? Stephanie Shojaee. Big I'm Alexia Nepola.
Oh, I'm Alexia.
I don't even know what I said because, when I'm so much in the moment, I don't even know. And, remember, like, I was dealing with a lot of stuff in my personal life.
Sure.
And my life is a lot different from everybody's life. I don't want to cry.
And what do you mean? Why is it making you so emotional?
So, Frankie, my life is very different. No, he's there, so I don't want to talk about it.
But I understand, he is your world. He means everything to you, correct?
So I wake up different than everybody else. As soon as I wake up, my life is different from everybody else. So they don't get that, just leaving him behind.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I have to make so much preparation, everything when I travel, but anyways, sorry, wait.
No. And you know what? And Frankie is right there, and he loves
Yeah,
you.
Andra.
And he
see me
loves
cry.
you. He loves you.
I've given so much of my life, and so have my kids and my family, and we've had to pay a price for it. To me, that's the hardest thing about doing this kind of show. The world has changed so much, and unfortunately with social media, people just want to say hateful things.
Yes.
Instead of focusing on the good and, the positive, it's hate. But back to the girls, what I was saying was that my life is a lot different from all the girls. Like, yeah, I love a Birkin bag, and I have a few of them, but it's not my whole life.
Right.
Like, she wakes up in the morning and does glam. I wake up in the morning and give Frankie his medication and make him breakfast and, and go along with my day.
Yes,
Our
of
days
course.
are very different, and I'm knocking hers down. And by the way, I do all the other stuff that she does also. But I'm just saying that our lives are very different, and that's like what the audience a lot of times doesn't see.
Let's look ahead. Going into the reunion, what is your number one question?
I have so many questions, but really what I really want to know, my number one question, is for Julia. And for Guerdy, like, what happened? I feel like there's so much backstory
Yes.
for something like this to happen for such a long time. I have questions. I want to know what really happened. And it's like really unfortunate that you went up in the reunion, like instead of resolving, just like trying to tear each other down. And that's why I don't like the reunion. I don't like the reunion. I say it every single time. I'm not even that strong in the reunion because there's so much fighting. And poor Andy, like.
But can I be honest? We love the reunion. I mean, that's the honest answer, because you all really air a lot of stuff, and you say some things
because
that
you know
maybe-
what? They all get prepared, and they all bring the receipts, and they all bring the timeline, and they all bring the other things. 3 things that Heather says, and she's absolutely right about them. I just forgot them, because I don't. I come with my open heart, like I always say. I don't need receipts. I lived it. I was there. Like, I know what happened. And I feel like I was telling you, it's really hard to film with these women that are taking notes, that are asking ChatGPT.
Sure.
Like,
Sure.
oh, what should I do? What should I say? Literally, they're doing that. And they're taking notes and sending them to people to tell them what to say.
Wait. So you're telling me that folks at the reunion are hitting ChatGPT and saying,
Yes, babe,
how do I
before.
answer this?
Before, they're pre-planning everything, and they are discussing with their whole team, and Chat happens to be one of them.
Andy Cohen, you're
Are you
allowing
listening?
ChatGPT on the set now? What? What, we're getting AI answers?
Yeah, they're like,
Okay.
you can tell.
More than one.
Listen, you're gonna have to watch the rest of the
but
season.
more than one.
Sevilla. You're gonna see a lot of things are gonna happen in Sevilla, and you are going to see what I'm talking about, which will lead us into the reunion.